All right, howdy everybody. This is like a impromptu part two of how I foo my bag, but I don't know if it's a continuation of part one or what. So basically, I gave you a lot of conversation last time as to how I foo the bag because I can't say the real F word, which is what I really did. And I just want to say that I'm in a position right now where, where I'm broke, but I'm middle class too. So what do I mean by that? That means right now I'm so far into credit card debt that I'm unable to refinance my house, despite the fact that I have $1 jillion, well, not a jillion, but where I have plenty of money. And this camera angle isn't right. I only have light is reflecting off the screen. There we go. Okay, that's better. But I have equity in my house. In fact, I own two houses. One's a 2-unit rental property, and the other one is this house. My personal house, my personal residence, and I'm unable to. I found out recently that I'm unable to pull the money out because I got so far in the hole in credit card debt that they just won't be able to finance it all and still leave me at a decent debt to income ratio. So that's also the bad part about buying your rental properties on credit. Although if I really, really wanted to, I could find a way. It would just be making a bad situation much worse than I need to. So what do I need to do? This is one of those instances where I need to take my medicine. I need to acknowledge, hey, I stayed out of work too long. I also over leveraged my wealth, and now I need to bite the bullet, do what I need to do to get out of this situation within a year or two, or even 5, depending on what else happens in my life. And I need to get back into a winning situation where I'm able to acquire 5 duplexes, 5 2-unit buildings within the next 4 to 5 years. Or that timeline might be even a little bit long. It might even be 10 years. But I figure if I have 5 rental properties and at least one of them paid off, I'll be in a really good situation. Once I hit that middle age area, that real middle age area. Because I would argue that I'm already middle aged. So, with that being said, I wanted to give a little guidance, if I can, as to how to prevent getting in my circumstances. Okay, and then there's a lot of layers to set of circumstances. Like, for instance, right now, because I picked, that's right, I picked the wrong job um, to settle into. There's a good likelihood that I'm going to get terminated in the new year or by the end of this month. I'm currently on, and I know I'm oversharing, and that's okay. But I'm currently on a PIP plan, right? And that's going to be another segment to this show. I'm going to start talking to y'all about these jobs. You know what I'm saying? These jobs, about how to navigate the workplace while you're trying to pursue the bag, while you're trying to pursue your other, because you have a real life. You know what I'm saying? A lot of you don't know it because you guys just dedicate much of your life to other things, or other people, or or other priorities that are really just unimportant. Okay. Um, and hopefully, as I get this show going and everything, hopefully I get to make a lot of friends. I'm here to make friends. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm here to make friends. So if you want to be a friend of mine, subscribe to me. You're not my subscribers, you're my friends. And so I hope to make a lot of friends who watch my videos and so on and so forth, so that we can grow this community um, into things that I can't even imagine right now. Right now, I'm just thinking about really surviving, literally surviving, until February, thinking, okay, by February, I'll be able to get a good full-time job, maybe even March. Yeah, by I'm thinking a good 90 days of really like getting out here, pursuing a good job, a good full-time job, um, will will enable me to get where I need to go. Because right now, survival is heavily on my mind. Okay, and so no, I don't have a. I blew through my 401k. Um, you know, just trying to invest in real estate and a few other things. I may have bought all the girls drinks at the bar a couple times. A lot happens, we blow through the kind of money that I blew through. And with that being said, I'm going to tell you that even though this show is all about making your money work for you, I have to give you a disclaimer. One, I'm not a financial advisor, but that's not the disclaimer that's important to me as far as communicating to you. Um, the real disclaimer is when you're middle class, when you're broke, when you come into adulthood broke, or you grew up middle class, or you grew up poor or working class, there is no guarantee in life other than your wealth going up and down, up and down. Um, for a few people, life works out to in a way where they can keep their wealth steady on an incline and everything. But if you notice, not even the federal government can keep their GDP and their debt load on a steady. Well, the debt. Let me rephrase that. that we had so many things happen, like the pandemic, of course, being a major event that's ongoing. If you know, really want to be real about it. But for the most part, even the government can't really decide as to how they should best balance their budget or handle their budget. You know, as a matter of fact, and mind you, I do get, so please do not come after me for and accusing me of being on whichever side of the aisle or anything like that, because I'm not disclosing my political affiliation right now, because I have none. You know, I'm just gonna keep it 100. But if we ran our budget, our household budgets, the way Congress runs their budget, you know, we'd be sleeping in a tent right now. You know, I'm pretty sure most of you all would agree with me. You know, um, however, they had to make decisions with their budget about matters concerning life and death, like literally life and death, and then also, well, the primary purpose, at least for the members of Congress, is to protect the rich. You know, which is a unfortunate part of just looking at government and you know and just noticing how federal government is pretty much going to keep you angry or be a major letdown. Yet you have to keep up with it, you know, for your own personal reasons, etc. But yeah, but getting back to my main point, your wealth is going to go up and down, you know, and so you don't want to be the type of person who lives check to check, or if you live in check to check, you want to take as much time and effort that it takes to get out of living check to check. Now, the most difficult part for me as I, you know, record this video is a couple years ago, I got the bag. You know what I'm saying? I mean, wasn't no meals or nothing like that. I wasn't, you know, making it rain on strippers or anything like that. But I had gotten to a point where I was doing pretty good, making decent money at my tech company job. Um, and then I was, you know, rehabbing my 2 unit so that I can, you know, get some rental income from that. Life was good. Life was good. Eating at restaurants, that's why I'm so fat. It also affected my health as well. I was, you know, I was pretty much living it up, I think, you know, at least in, you know, to my standards. Me, I'm a low key guy. I'm not going to be doing anything wild and crazy anymore, or you know, not that I ever have, but nonetheless, I was, you know, I had bought my first of all, you know, I had bought my first house, okay, under a 203K loan, and see, y'all may look at me and say, well, you know, you yeah, you got the bag temporarily, and then you fumbled it. Yeah, it happens. But here's the thing: like some people never get the bag, and a lot of times because they don't know where to start. Excuse me. They don't know where to start. So to me, that's the biggest obstacle in in pursuing a higher wealth level and things of that nature is just knowing where to start, and then two, dealing with the people in your life, because the people in your life are either going to be the most supportive or the biggest haters or somewhere in between, because you may be related to people who have, gone on your journey and their results vary. Um, and here's the thing: results are going to vary. Like there's things they can do to increase your chances of success and everything. And then there's just acts of God, and things happen and things like that. But I think the number one thing that you want to do is not blow up your credit cards. Look, credit card interest is like 25-30%. The stock market, when it's doing well, is getting you returns of 7 to 10%. Some years even 20%. I think last year was like 25%. Okay, you're not going to, no matter how well you do, you're not going to beat credit card debt. You're not at those percentages. So if you have some credit cards right now with revolving balances, like some people's situation vary. If you have a little debt, not a lot of debt like me, I got somebody's entire income. Okay, that's anyway. But whatever your debt level is right now, whether it's small, whether it's big, pay off your credit cards. Pay off your credit cards. And then, I'm going to say anywhere from every 90 days to 180 days, 6 months, ask your, call up your credit card company or go online and request a credit limit increase. As long as you're responsible with your credit, they'll give you the increase, because you're going to need. Here's the funny thing about credit cards. You're going to need capacity. In other words, you're going to need, I'm going to say, a certain level of credit limit, if you will, just in case. Just in case. You know what I'm saying? Just in case you need to buy supplies, you need to, purchase, large, dollar amounts, but you don't want to burn up your cash like that right away. You're going to need the credit card, and then you're going to need to dedicate yourself to paying that thing off, within 6 months to a year. Okay? And, I had it all planned out. Everything was all good. Then one day in May, I got laid off, and I didn't work again for 14 months. That's a year and 2 months. And so, even though I made it, I survived. I lost a lot of money, to just maintaining and trying to live, despite the fact that I was on unemployment and everything. It's just, it's tough to really prepare financially when you have a lot of bills. It's tough to plan financially for the future as to what your next job is going to be. And so I thought I had gotten lucky. Keep bouncing around tangents. I thought I had gotten lucky because a friend of mine had gotten me a pretty decent job. At least so I thought, until, let's just say, the cultural fit isn't there. And I'm not talking about race either. I'm talking about from an environmental perspective, from a workplace environment perspective. That's another thing that we don't, including myself, that we don't plan for. We don't ever take into account, what if this job ain't right for me? What if I only get to stay 5 or 6 months because it's just not working out? And good thing I'm gonna release this video after I find out my fate, as to whether or not I'm gonna get fired. But like, the first 4 months on this job, I like the job, don't get me wrong, but the first 4 months have been going terribly. First of all, this is a job that I never did before. I've always been in customer service. So this time, I'm not going to say what it is, because then it'll just be really, easy to narrow down the employer. I'll put it that way. If, certain people want to put 1 and 1 together to equal 2. So, what I will say is, it was a job that I never did before. And I thought it was going to be sweet. I thought it was going to be easy. And it was just as hard as, I'm going to give you a good example for those who are not really into math like that. This job was like going to my financial accounting class every single day that I took way back in community college. And that junk was hard. That class was really hard. You had to constantly study and stay on top of your studies, and read and meditate, the material, and really get it drilled down into you in order to be successful. You're not going to endure an accounting program, for instance, for 4 years without studying. I just hate to break it to you. It's not one of those classes or those majors where you can just pick it up by osmosis, or just by, doing. So I didn't absorb the training material well. There was a lot of material. Like I said, this is a discipline that I never encountered before. And then I struggled. I struggled for 4 months. Well, this is the 4th month out of training. So I struggled for the last 3 months, when looking at it from a numbers perspective. Like, I'm just put it this way, like, my numbers sucked. And so I knew I was going on a PIP this month. In fact, I've been knowing probably for a couple months, just subconsciously, because I wasn't getting it. I was struggling. I wasn't on the same page with QC at my job, and I just knew that I would never ever get it. In fact, in November, I started looking for jobs because it wasn't no secret that I was going to go on a PIP. In December, the month of December, I knew I was going to be on a PIP. Here's what surprised me though. After going on a PIP, my numbers have improved. You know, um, my error rate and my business decisions. My business they have a metric called decisions, but I won't get too much into that. I'm still on the incline with that, but not quite there. But like my error rate, which is what I was struggling with the most, I didn't improve my rate as of the 16th of this month. I've improved over. Let me see. I've improved over 24%, which is remarkable. When I came into this month, not really thinking that I was going to do so well. But one thing I did do was make it a priority to meet up with my direct manager and like sort through like where I'm going wrong at. And the problem was I was going wrong with a lot of stuff. And last month was my very worst month. So I was not feeling confident about my prospects of even having a chance to retain my job because PIPs are not meant to, what is a PIP? A PIP is a performance improvement plan. Every company, every corporation, every tech company has a PIP policy. It's called a performance improvement plan, which is a nice way in reality. So in corporate speak, performance improvement plan, you would think that they have a plan to help you improve your performance, right? But that's in theory. In reality, for you young people, a PIP is, basically, it's basically a warning letter, a nice way of saying that this is a warning letter. If you do not meet these standards, you will be gone. And a PIP could last various amounts of time. At most companies, it lasts 6 months. But, in my case, it only lasts 30 days. And I think 30 days is both good and bad, depending on if, you're able to perform. 30 days is not an unreasonable amount of time if you're able to perform, if you have the ability to perform. But if neither is the case, then pretty much, you pretty much know in 30 days you're going to not be at this company no longer. So whether that's the case for me, let's see how my production does in the next couple of weeks, and I'll tell you either way. I don't have no shame. You know what I'm saying? We're all gonna get fired at least 4 times anyway in our lifetimes. So unless you're one of them lucky people who get to stay at the same company for I don't know 40 years and they treat you well, but that's never been my case. So yeah. So and the reason I pointed out job fit being important Because how else are you going to get your money until you really get to the bag like that? Because I only own one rental property, so I ain't really getting to the bag like that on a per monthly basis. You see what I'm saying? Just not now. You know what I'm saying? Like from a equity position, yeah. Once I take care of my personal stuff, I should be fine. Wealth position wise and all that stuff. Um, you know, I'm still not gonna uh, be arguing on the internet with women about who's gonna pay for dinner and all that stuff. It ain't that serious, but yeah, you have to take into account how how stable your job is, and what you're gonna find out in future episodes of making money work for regular people is that I'm gonna recommend that you don't trust job stability at all, and that you start squirreling your coins and finding a place to invest them, like stock market. But don't gamble. Don't gamble. Don't day trade. I mean, don't day trade until you have, I'm gonna say, 25,000 that you can afford to lose and be like, okay, well, I lost 25,000. You know, and really, I'd really say you need about 100, but you can start day trading with about 25, 30,000, and that's just for you to learn how to day trade. I can't promise you how long it'll take for you to make profits and make money on day trading. I can't make that promise. But what I can do is, help you not get burned up too bad, when you're playing with fire. Okay, but I like investing in dividend stocks. The more money you invest in dividend stocks, the more your dividends increase. I want to get to a point where I'm getting, I'm getting 1,000, 2,000, and rising, right? Per month off of some stock that I own. And the only way to get to that level is you have to be patient. You have to constantly invest. I would say $100, $200, a month to get started, or more if you have more disposable income. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to get in a habit of depending on this job for your livelihood, or depending on your coworkers to like you, and so on and so forth, just so you can maintain job stability. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't go get a job and then run amok. Like, really get your job and be responsible with that job. Okay? Be responsible with that job. Don't run up your credit cards. If you have debt right now, you need to do whatever you need to do to pay that off. Whether it's getting another job, and selling on eBay or Etsy, whatever your thing is, and however you make that extra money. But you need to. I mean, I'm in the same position too, so it's no shame in that. But what you want to do is, you want to pay that stuff off, and and then move forward towards investing, because that's the only time you're gonna really win at investing. Otherwise, you're basically, setting aside money for a rainy day when you don't have your debt paid off. And like, I'm not gonna start stopping my credit cards once they get paid off either. Like, I want to get at least one of my properties, probably the one I live in, right? Because right now, believe it or not, it's worth the most money. I hate to say it, but but my other property is, located in a lower value area. But I have good tenants, and well, yeah, I have good tenants, and that's pretty much how that works out. So, um, yeah. So I think I'm gonna stop here. It's been 36 minutes. And but I do want to make sure that I reiterate those points. So remember, job fit is important. Get a good job, but don't depend on it. Like, be grateful for the job, but also understand that you can be fired or laid off any day. So, squirrel away as much as you can from that job. And, when hopefully nothing bad happens, but if you do unfortunately lose your job, you're prepared to move on to the next job. And you're not going to be the person in your new hire class who's broke because, they haven't had a job in 6 months or even close to a year. And remember, back when I was on unemployment, they had the pandemic unemployment. You know what I'm saying? They don't have that extra money anymore. So it's really a struggle out here when you don't have a job. Um, so that, pay off your credit card debt, and then you'll be ready to invest. As you pay down your debt. The more you pay down your debt, the more ready you'll be to invest. So, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe. Like I said, I always want more friends. I can never get enough friends, and have a good day.